What's up, guys? Welcome to your Bitcoin update. Are we in a bubble and has it popped? We're going to talk about that, and we're going to look at the possibilities of going up from here, but we're going to take an honest view without all the hype, all the craziness. We're also going to talk a little bit about BlackRock and is that good or bad for Bitcoin? And don't forget, we have a free Discord group. There's a link down below in the description. Definitely check it out. It's an awesome community, totally free, and let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. And before we begin, don't forget we do a Ledger Nano S giveaway, hard wallet giveaway every Sunday. We'll be doing that tomorrow. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you subscribe to the channel, scroll down, I'll wait a second, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, and that will get you entered to win. Don't forget to turn your notifications on also to get notified when I post videos, as we will be continuing to track this market. Looking at the fear and greed index, we dropped to 40 yesterday. We're back up to 74, still in the greed zone. BlackRock, everybody's super excited about BlackRock. Could it be a good thing? Possibly. Could it be a bad thing? Very possible. If you guys were around for 2017, you'll remember when the CME futures got put in. What happened? It got shorted by big money and we had our bear market. People are saying BlackRock is buying Bitcoin. That is not true. BlackRock is investing in Bitcoin futures, which are cash settled, just like what happened in 2017. They're not buying Bitcoin. They're getting into the Bitcoin game. That's not a lie. But if you look down here, BlackRock did not state which commodity exchange it will choose to execute these crypto future buys. Futures can be shorts, guys. Futures can be shorts, which I think is more likely for them. Because if you look at where we're at in the charts, this is not where big money buys. They don't buy the top of speculative hype bubbles. But anyway, however, the funds may only invest in cash settled Bitcoin futures. So let's look at the DXY before we begin. And as you guys know, if you're watching the channel, if you look at the RSI down here, this is the 3-day chart. We had a falling wedge back here that ended in January of 18. That is when Bitcoin dropped. That's when the bear market started. If you look over here at this fractal, seems to be that the Bitcoin bear market has began, if you ask me. Now, like I said, we'll take a look at the bullish case scenario too, but if you look at the indicators, they were all doing the exact same thing. People say the dollar is dead. People say buy the fear. Well, if there's fear in the dollar, get in the dollar because the dollar is going to rise. And I do believe people will be selling speculative, high risk, hyped assets like Bitcoin, and that will push up the dollar price. That's my opinion. Make up your own mind, but you need to take a look at all views. If you are interested in trading where it doesn't matter which way Bitcoin goes, you can make money, you can short it, you can long it. Prime XBT, I'll leave a tutorial on how to use their margin up top. It afforded me to actually quit my 6-figure job by going full-time trading, although I did practice for a long time before I went full-time. But anyways, it's a great platform, a lot of cool setups. You can set up multiple charts with multiple time frames instead of having, especially if you're starting out and you don't have a bunch of monitors. It's a great way to get started. They also have, you can trade Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP. We're also going to take a look at the XRP chart at the end too, so stick around. You could trade gold, Forex, oil, silver, S&P, Dow Jones, everything on this one exchange. And if you use my promo code SAVY50, you'll get 50% on top of whatever you deposit as a bonus to use towards your margin. So if you put in 5,000, you'll get 2,500 to use towards your margin. On top of that, also Savvy25 will get you 25% off of your trading fees, which is good for trading, and you can use them both at the same time. So let's take a look at the Wall Street cheat sheet. I do believe we have hit the euphoria stage and then now are in the complacency stage and are entering the bear market. That's my opinion and my view, but there is other looks that we continue up from here. We're going to look at what to watch for to know if that's going to happen. So this is 2017 bubble, 2019 mini bubble, and this is where I believe we are now. And if you look at the takeoff, look at this rising channel here. We took off, broke out of it, and when we came back down, we always came back below. And if you look at the second touch on the top before the breakout, we put this yellow dotted line across here. Once that was broken, that was capitulation. That took a long time. Bitcoin got pretty boring right here, but if you trade it, you can make all kinds of money. If you are just a hodler, this hurt pretty bad. Same thing here in 19. And I believe we're going to see the same thing over here. Bottom, if this plays out, as you can see, the second touch at the top here was around 12.6. So we'll probably bounce around above that, maybe 14,000 or so. Be a good trading zone if it happens like it's happened every time in the past. And then the capitulation, obviously, from this 12.5 range will be a good short opportunity for a big trade if this plays out. Also, I want to show you every time we topped. Let me move over here. We had our breakout, obviously. And then when we hit the top up here, right around this area here, around 17,000 for Bitcoin, we dropped below. As you can see, we had the two touches on this trend line. Once we dropped below that, that was pretty much confirmation this was a bear market beginning, right? Let's look at 19. So 2019, we had the same thing. And right about here, which was around 12,000, we broke this trend line. And that was indication that the bear market had begun. Let's look at where we're at now. And again, I could be wrong, but if you're not taking a look at everything and you just want to watch moon videos and stuff, there's a good possibility you will get ultimately wrecked and be waiting years to get, especially if you bought up here at the top. I'm kind of starting to feel sorry for you guys. We'll see what happens. But as you can see right here where it broke that same trend line on the daily, where was that at? That was right around the $36,000 to $37,000 range. Can we get it back up there? Possibly. Like I said, we're going to take a look at the areas. All right, so this is the rising wedge. I know everybody was looking at this as a triangle. I've been looking at it as a rising broadening wedge. We did break down below it. We talked about it yesterday. As you can see, we had the same wedge right here, but this was obviously not a broadening wedge. But in the RSI, when we dropped out of it, we had a bull trap, came back up in it. We've tested this line twice and failed to get back above. In the bullish case, this is the weekend, obviously. They can get pumps in the weekend. If you look here, this could be possibly inverse head and shoulders here. And we could come back up, try to test this trend line. If we break above that and get support, then it's bullish. If we do not, if we get rejected here, if we even get up there, we most likely continue down. And let's take a look at the areas to watch. I pointed them out yesterday, and I went in a little more detail in yesterday's video if you want to check that out. We looked at the Dow and some other things. But as you can see, this top trend line up here, this is where I would consider we have one more push up if we can break this. And that's around the $37,000 range. We'll need to break above it and gain support. And then we could be looking at that 50,000 that people are screaming about. But if we take a look at where we're at, we broke through the bottom of this wedge. We got back up. We talked about this also yesterday. If we could open and close a 4-hour above and get support, then we were good for looking up to at least around 34.5 area, which would be the 55 EMA. A break of that, we could come retest this 37,000 area. If we break above that and gain support, then we're most likely going to head to around that 50,000. Although I don't think that's likely, it doesn't matter what I think. Pay attention to what's going on. But we would have to break back above this today. Open and close a 4-hour candle. That means it has to open above around 33,400 to 33, right? Let's say 33,500. If we can open and close a 4-hour candle above that, we could be coming up to test this area. If we cannot get back into this wedge, we're probably headed back down to these areas. And if we look at the EMAs, they are all looking bearish, guys. They're pointing down. They all want to cross the 200. That's the first time we broke below the 200 EMA this whole time. We've came back and tagged it. but that's showing weakness in the market, if you ask me. If we can remain above it, I'd say if we have a daily close below the 32,000, it's probably going to get ugly. And we'll take a look at a few more things, but that's what I'm looking at here. And we looked at this as a possible one-to-one extension for an ABC, meaning a fifth wave up, and that would probably be around that 50,000 if that's the case. Otherwise, this could be a 1, 2, 3, and that'd be around the $20,800 area. Then we would pop back up, retest this area, and continue down. One more quick thing, I went into more detail again in yesterday's video, but if you look at this bottom trend line, this green chart here overlaps the Bitcoin chart. Every time the dollar is bottomed, Bitcoin is topped. The dollar has bottomed, I believe Bitcoin is topped. If we move this up here, every time the dollar topped, Bitcoin bottomed. Dollar topped, Bitcoin bottomed. Just another way for you guys to look at the charts. Just don't get too into the hype cycle crap. The hype does end, and big institutions don't buy up here to hold. Regardless of what they say on Twitter, you know, all these guys are playing a game, and they're in a game to take your money. You have to remember that it's unregulated. They can pump it on Twitter and say all kinds of things and get people to buy in while they sell. It's unregulated, so it's not like the regular stock market. As of right now, there's not a whole lot of risk of them getting in trouble because of no regulation. But as soon as that comes, I think that will really calm Bitcoin. But anyways, let's look at the log chart here. This is the monthly, and as you can see, there's tons of different log charts people have drawn that makes it look like it continues up to infinity and beyond and just crazy stuff. But you can manipulate this any way you want with the arcs. So just be aware of that. Another thing I want to point out is look at this monthly candle. It is horrible. Unless we get a huge pump, this is not going to be a good end of the month. We'll see where it goes, but as of right now, this is the other view. Everybody thinks that we can't, you know, the bull market doesn't end until the end of the year because it's a 4-year cycle. I've argued the point that that is a great way to get people conditioned so you can continue to sell into them on every little pump because they think it's going to keep going for another year. This market, bull market, bubble, speculation, hype could have ended a year early, and, you know, we go down from here. Now, in the bullish case, looking for around June, if you look at the yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves within the fifth wave using the Elliott wave theory would get us to around June. And the reason I say June is because fourth wave should be something like the same amount of time as the 2. It doesn't have to be exact, but it's not going to just go straight down like this and straight back up. It should have a couple month at least correction, but I'm figuring in June. I've showed the 450-day bottom cycle plenty of times. If you haven't seen that, look back in the videos. But as of right now, yeah, we're looking at, this would be the bullish case. Obviously, anything below 14,000 invalidates this whole count, and we continue down, like I think is very possible. But if we do get a bounce off of one of these, the 0.236 at around 33,000, 0.382 at about 27.5, 0.5 at about 23,000, and then the golden pocket zone between 17,000 and 18,500 area in June could be the wave 4, and then we have one more push up towards the end of the year towards the 50,000 for the end of wave 3, which would be the fifth wave in the sub count within it. So that's the bullish case in my opinion. Let's look at this chart here now. We've been watching this. This is the funding rate. The funding rate back in March. And this is why I was talking of a possible black swan event. That's still very possible. You can see funding rate was extremely high over here. And it went down, came back up a few times. But you can see what happened when it did finally capitulate. And that was after breaking the 55 EMA, coming back up to retest it, which we have not broke yet. We did get a nice bounce off of it, but it is starting to look pretty ugly here, guys. And as I talked about before, how tops usually form, sometimes it could be a triangle. Again, this could be a bull flag. We could come back down to here, come up, break this, and come up for one more high. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on it. But as of right now, if we look at the EMAs here, if we close down in this area today, the 8 EMA is going to cross the 21, which is pretty damn bearish, and especially if the 13 comes down within the next month or so and crosses this 21, it's going to get pretty ugly. As of right now, like I said, we got a nice bounce off the 21 EMA. As of right now, I still believe it just to be a relief rally. We've talked about the points to watch. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking at here, guys. We could see some ugly blood in the streets. So let's look at XRP. Playing out beautifully. I posted this chart before Christmas, looking at it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. And I'm looking for 4 cents, still looking for 4 cents. Be careful with XRP. And all alts. People are talking about the alt season. I think that's just another conditioning. People expect it to happen. So while people are buying, expecting alt season, people that have been holding them and bought them low can sell into that and get out. And then those ultimately end up crashing too, if I'm correct about this. So, but look at this. This is just like a dying penny stock. The ugliest crap coin pump and dump scheme in the world. Be careful with XRP, guys. It is horrible. I don't think it'll ever reach, it'll probably never break this high again ever at 78 cents. This thing could just go down to under a penny, like most shit coins do in the end. But anyways, Ink Your Image. This is my wife's webpage if you're interested in helping support the channel or you want some cool merch. She has a lot of cool stuff on here. A lot of personalized stuff, blankets, aluminum signs, glass, the big glass frames. You can put family pictures or sayings or Bitcoin, whatever you want on any of this stuff. There is a crypto section. Like I said, you can put anything you want on any of this stuff. But I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get the daily updates. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post videos. Smash that thumbs up. Take a second out. Do that if you haven't already. And leave a comment for your entry to win tomorrow's free Ledger Nano S giveaway. Again, appreciate each and every one of you guys. Take care. Be safe. Use stops. Don't over leverage and have fun. Take it easy. I'm out.